Hello, Canucks fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Canucks Conversation, brought to you by the great folks over at Montana's. Montana's is bringing back the viewing party. We went out there last week. They have got daily deals every day. Today is Monday. Chris, what does it mean on a Monday?
Monday, I'll tell you what. Yeah, you get the wings. But here's the other thing. Big giveaway this week. $100 gift card, folks. $100 gift card from Montana's. It's so fresh, so new. I don't even think Alex has a graphic ready for it over there yet. But head over to the Instagram. You can see it on Canucks Army right now. Head over to the Canucks Army Instagram. You got to tag Canucks Army. You got to tag Montana's with a photo of your crew and you at Montana's enjoying some food. You get two of what Alex just showed on the screen there. A $100 gift card for ribs, wings, tacos, whatever. You take that $100, boom. So somebody got to get in there and win it. Shout out to our winner last week, Mr. Goche, I believe. Was the winner of that one last week on the show. But yeah, $100 this week. Montana's giveaway. Check it out on the Instagram. Lots more information there for you.
Contest is open to Canadian U.S. citizens. I know Lisa was asking about
citizens.
That. Yes, exactly.
No way.
18 plus, though. Contest is going to end on the 16th. Recording this on the 13th. So you got 3 days, folks. You got 3 days.
Look at this. Alex is quick.
$100 gift card, courtesy of our friends over at Montana. 7 locations across British Columbia. My name is David. I'm joined
Did you just say the 16th?
Yes.
Why do we not no show on Friday?
Well, what's going on Friday?
What are you talking about?
Well, the giveaway is on the 17th.
Oh. What's going on here, Quads? You're reading what's reading on over there?
No, you will be contacted on the 17th. Contest ends on the 16th
okay.
at 5 p.m.
Midnight.
Right. We're going to announce the winner on Friday.
Okay.
Do you guys read anything before you just yell at me?
No, I don't read anything. I told you, I don't read anything.
Okay, well, if I may.
I listen to podcasts. I listen to everything on podcasts.
If I may, my name is David Kuzmenko. I'm joined, as always, by the man who built the place, Chris Faber, our technical producer, who you've already heard already, Alex Allard.
I challenged him. I said, I don't even think Alex has the graphic, and he came and delivered here.
Alex Allard is our producer. Okay, we're here to talk. Few things going on this morning.
First off, how's your weekend?
It was good. I had my birthday. You were there.
That's
it was fantastic. I forgot to bring it. I got given a Riley Stillman rookie card, autographed with the game-worn jersey, autographed Riley Stillman rookie card. My friends Daniel and Matthew, shout out to them, got it for my birthday. I left it at home.
Happy belated. When is your birthday? Sorry to interrupt.
February 11th.
When is your birthday?
February 11th.
That's my son's birthday. It was my son's 1-year-old birthday on Saturday.
Gee, wow. Couple years difference from Quads. Yeah, not very different.
Well, happy birthday to your son, Alex. Okay, enough about the weekend. You came out. It was nice.
Yeah, your birthday is kind of whatever. Alex's kid, he turned 1 year old. That's pretty cool. That's his first birthday, right?
Yeah.
You don't celebrate your 0th birthday. Do you?
You don't.
No, you celebrate being born, I guess. Yep. Okay.
Can we get going here?
Don't clip. No, I wanted to ask you about your weekend.
Depends which part of the world you're in. Like in Korea, everybody turns 1 at the same time and stuff like this. There's all kinds of.
Okay, but Alex, what's that? Did you talk about Korean birthdays over here? I haven't seen the chat yet, but I know where this is going.
I'm sure the chat's agreeing with me that we got to get moving here.
No. I just your weekend. We got lots of time here.
It was
lots
great.
Of time.
You were with me.
We're only 4 minutes into the show. Lots of time here.
There's so much to get to.
Yeah.
There's so much to get to.
You enjoyed your time. That's what I'm asking. Did you have a nice night on your birthday? I told you I did. You
were there. It was great.
You didn't want to get into anything?
Everybody had a good time. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why we have to talk about it. It was great. I loved my birthday. I'm giving off the vibe that I had a bad birthday.
No, I know.
I just want to get going on the show. No one cares about my birthday.
No, I think people do care about it. Let me know that you're acting a little Corey Bantic the way to start the show here today. It's a little bit much for me right off the bat here, Quads. I put on a suit and tie. Well, not a suit. I put on a tie.
We're trying to tell you we care. You know.
Yeah, just let it go. What'd you think of the halftime performance?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. Although there was the debate. I'm not sure if this happened at the party you were at. The debate immediately of, is she pregnant? And I said I was on team pregnant. I thought she was pregnant.
Team pregnant, David Quadrelli.
And she is. She confirmed, Rihanna.
That was because that's the thing. He said I got a special guest for the halftime performance. It's in my belly.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I liked
good memes coming out of there too.
But here's the thing about halftime performances.
People got me with the word there. Everybody's damn it.
Yeah, everybody's gonna get that. Come on.
I like this word.
Okay, but quickly now.
This word's got a name in it.
Everybody with halftime performances either thinks it's the best ever or the worst ever. I don't understand.
Nothing wrong with the
good halftime show. It was fine. And I'll tell you what. I was on the train today. I had Rihanna Essentials on Apple Music. bumping through the headphones.
Oh, I tell you, man, Rihanna's got a great.
She's got good tunes.
The last CD I've ever bought was a Rihanna CD. That's the lot because it's what is this 2012, 2013? Really, iPods they were up before that, but everybody's car you still needed a CD back then because nobody's I was 20 years old. I still had a car from 1997, so I had the CDs that I bought a Rihanna CD there.
See, here we go. I need someone to explain this to me because Corey Shuchuk jumped in the chat. Thanks for listening. Says terrible halftime show, possibly the worst ever. Someone explain to me why it's the worst ever. Like I don't understand.
Corey, I'll give this to Corey. Listen, I think you know what? I think Corey's onto something here. It was not the worst. I don't think it was the worst. The songs excellent. The performance excellent. So there's a documentary out right now about last year's Super Bowl performance, one that big one put on there. Dr. Dre puts on. He puts on the whole thing, and they showed it was a documentary of how like all the artists come together, how the thing. And I tell you, watching that, like this was don't get me wrong, Rihanna's hanging above that thing she was standing on when that's high. People aren't giving her credit for how high up in the air. Imagine this. This is how high she was up in the air. Us looking up. Can you get the back shot here, Alex? This is how far she's about this high up in the air, probably, because I'm, calculating size BC plays. She's hundreds of feet up in the air, 200 feet.
Okay,
probably.
well, this is the thing is Corey said great songs, terrible show. She's on like a Super Smash Bros. Platform. Oh. Pregnant, which, sorry, can we add to the fact that she was pregnant while doing this?
This is Quad's problem. He doesn't know pregnant. Now you're against the pregnant women.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm not saying it's a problem that she did it. I'm saying she deserves major props that she did all this while pregnant. Like people, she didn't. What did you want her to do in the performance? You wanted her to jump around? Like, what did you want?
No, and so when that kid gets born, it's not going to be scared of heights. It's been through a lot already. It's not even born yet. It's going to celebrate its 0's birthday here pretty soon, and it's already not going to be afraid of heights.
Okay. Anyways, I was trying to get us moving here.
I know.
We really got to move.
Quads. Can we move on, Quads? Can we move on, Quads?
Yeah, I've been saying, Alex. Thank you. Get going here, Quads.
Luke Schenn.
Trying to move on here.
I'm just like, come on, man. Like, come on.
So recording this Monday morning, like
7
I said,
minutes in.
32 Thoughts podcast. Elliot Friedman throwing it out there about Schenn that he feels a trade could happen at any time. Now,
Luke
Friedman.
Schenn.
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
Nope.
Okay. What did I say?
Just Schenn. I mean, Braden Shenn's around too.
I don't know.
I'm gonna test you.
I don't know what you came in today thinking you were gonna do, but holy smokes, I'm near my wits' end.
That's what I'm saying. I'm near the end of this intro you've been dragging on.
Okay, so Friedman came in. He said, "I have heard the Schenn one could happen at any time. The way he plays." Talked about Schenn missing the game last week. Made both teams that are interested in trading for him and the Canucks go, "Hey, we really don't want this guy to get hurt before we can A, trade for him, and B, from the Canucks perspective, trade him and get assets for him." So this is really interesting to me, Chris, because last week we heard Ben Hankinson, the agent for both Brock Besser and Luke Schenn, go on Donnie and Dolly, friends of the show. Don Taylor, Rick Dollywall went over there to Donnie and Dolly, and he spoke about
Don Taylor, friend of the show. Rick, haven't seen him in a while.
They wished me a happy birthday. That was very nice of them on the show. That was very nice. Anyways,
want to talk more about your birthday weekend? Come on, man.
Anyways, what I was saying is Hankinson went on that show, and what he said was, Luke wants to be a Canuck, and he, he's always wanted to be a Canuck, blah, blah, blah. He's talking from that perspective. And he said, we haven't really had conversations yet in terms of whether an extension could be signed or whether a trade could happen. What I found really interesting, Chris, was that the agent himself, Hankinson, said the Canucks would kind of be crazy not to trade him because they could get assets for him.
You know what? I thought you were going to mention, because the other thing that he said in that interview was like the Canucks circling back in the offseason.
Exactly. Right? Like and that's what I was getting to. Exactly.
Yes. This is something that everybody wishes could happen. And I think it's something that's been talked about a lot. And people are like, you trade him, you sign him later because he likes it here. The fact that the agent actually brought it up, I think that's huge in that situation. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. But yeah, you're right. Like they got to, Schenn's got to get an opportunity to go somewhere on the cap hit that he's at, what he can bring to a team. There's going to be teams interested. What the two teams over here in Boston and Calgary.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that was the interesting thing that I heard from Friedman was like, everybody knows what the cost is going to be. Everybody knows who's interested in this situation, who's in on this trade. It's just a matter of now, I think a good spot for the Canucks, because the way that Friedman said it, of like, everybody knows who's in on him. Everybody knows what the return's going to be. So for the Canucks, from my perspective, you're looking at this is perfect, right? Everybody knows who's at the table. Everybody knows who's placing bets. Canucks now can take the biggest bet and walk away with that with a trade for Luke Schenn. Maybe they are getting a second plus. right? Because that's the talk. 3rd round pick, 2nd round pick. You're getting something around there. Imagine if now that everyone's at the table and talking about it, you get a 2nd round pick plus. Come on. You got to take that and run, man. You got to take that and run. That's a good boost to the prospect pool. Look what they just did with the 2nd round pick, Aatu Raty. We'll talk about him later. He's on the show. We got some clips from Raty later.
The player's agent was saying it would be crazy for the Canucks not to get assets when they're not a playoff team. Because, you know, he said, like, you know, the same reason that the Canucks would want to keep him and would like to re-sign him is the same reason that a bunch of contenders want to trade for him, right? You know, he plays hard. I'm not going to get into it all. He's got the veteran leadership, all that sort of stuff, all those intangibles that you can #win with in the playoff. Quickly here, Luke Schenn, courtesy of Brendan Batchelor. Neither of us went to morning skate today. Brendan Batchelor tweeted this out. Schenn talking about the trade interest in him. A couple of years ago, you're just trying to be wanted by anyone. Now you're at the point where you're wanted, and it's a compliment for sure, but you want to be wanted. For me, it's always been to be wanted in Vancouver. That from Luke Schenn. And hey, like, you think about where this guy was. Remember how the Canucks originally got him? It was they traded DJ MDZ, Michael Del Zotto, and a 6th round pick to the Anaheim Ducks to get Luke Schenn. Luke Schenn was riding the bus in Abbotsford.
You could call it it was a Corey Bantic situation he was in before he got traded there. Luke Schenn. You don't know what the word means of the day, so.
Neither do you.
Yeah, I know what the word means. I think I said it twice.
You learned it just because you say a word.
You know what? Cool thing about today's word of the day. They give an example of a sentence, right? It's about hockey. The actual the example sentence here says there's something of a sports miracle in hockey's Corey Bantic blend of objects, animate, and inanimate. Well, you know. Damn it, I screw up those words.
You don't even know the word inanimate.
Inanimate. Oh, I've never seen it spelt out like that. I've never had to read it. I looked like Animal Mate for a second.
Those animal mate objects.
Yeah, and in Animal Mates.
All right, I'll get us back on the rails here. So Luke Schenn does sound like he's going to be traded, and I guess my point that I wanted to round this out with was last week.
But do they play him, though? Here's the thing. That's what we didn't mention. Should they play him tonight? Like, the dude almost got hurt just the other day. Like, he plays a tough game.
I wouldn't, but I think they will.
Yeah, I think they'll play him, too.
Like, you know, I don't think it's much of a question that you shouldn't play him, but I think they will. And I'm not going to spend 10 minutes criticizing them for that decision. No. Schenn wants to play. You just don't see it much in hockey, sitting out for trade reasons. Although,
unless you saw
Jacob Chychrun, but
what happened there? You're the around the league guy. What happened there?
I don't want to get too into this.
I missed
but
it.
What's really interesting about the Jacob Chychrun situation, and for those that don't know,
there's a tweet though.
Arizona Coyotes defenseman, highly sought after. In trade talks all of this season, going back to last season even. Arizona Coyotes PR tweeting out that he is going to be held out for trade reasons. Not much expand on that. And then our pal Frank Saravalli reporting that there's lots of smoke.
Saravalli, that's what they call him.
Connecting the Kings with Chychrun, no confirmed fire yet. And so we wait. That's what Saravalli said. I think 2 days later or 3 days later, Friedman was also saying, and I think Frank also said this, was basically that there appears to have been a snag in that deal, but those two sides are apparently interested. You hear Brandt Clark's name thrown out there.
Oof,
so
that's a risky
if the Coyotes can get Brandt Clark, the 8th overall pick, and Dylan Guenther, the 9th overall pick, that's a pretty nice work.
Get on the wagon in Arizona.
Yeah.
They got some good young players.
What?
Brandt Clark. He's connected to the Ottawa area. Jacob Chychrun grew up in the Ottawa area.
So everybody's going to the Sens.
Everything's coming up. Schenn might be coming to the Sens.
Okay.
Kuzmenko's ice time. Go.
All right. Andrei Kuzmenko. I built another graphic today. Before we go into Kuzmenko ice time, can I mention this real quick? No energy drinks. I'm not drinking any this week. No energy drinks this week.
That's my boy.
I needed to go buy some on the weekend, and I thought, you know what? Maybe not. I have one emergency drink in the fridge for the week, and it's an emergency one if I need energy.
Okay.
But coffee and tea this week. So everybody in the chat, coffee and tea this week. Black coffee.
What a boy.
Black coffee. A little creamer in it. But let's get to Kuzmenko next time.
Yes.
We got the stats. We got to pull out the stats right off the top because interesting to see on Sunday afternoon at practice, skates as an extra forward, kind of mixing in on that third line over there. This is a guy who's got 52 games this year. He's been healthy scratched already this season, so it's not a huge shocker. But 22 goals, that's 3rd on the Vancouver Canucks in goals, now that Bo Horvat's gone. But 3rd in goals, 44 points on the season in 52 games. We obviously know about the chemistry. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here with Kuzmenko because Rick Tocchet today spoke about it, called it a long-term project, and I think that's fair to say. Now that you have this guy locked up in an extension, it is more of a long-term project. It's not really about the short-term as much now of thinking to pump his numbers like they have been this season and trading him at the deadline. Now that you have this extension in, I think you want to see the long-term process kind of work out here, because I think for Kuzmenko, the big question going into the season, what's the adjustment going to be like, right? That's a short-term thing. How's he going to adjust to the NHL this season in his rookie year? It's been a short-term plan, I think, the way they viewed Andrei Kuzmenko. It's the fact that you're playing with Elias Pettersson to cover up for some of the things that he does in the defensive zone, or some of the things he doesn't do in the defensive zone. Now you're at the point of like, okay, he's got the extension. You got your new coach in here. I can see why they're going the long-term route here and trying to develop him just to be a little bit better defensively. I know there's been some talk about fitness as well, kind of around Kuzmenko from them. So it is now a long-term project with Kuzmenko, when it wasn't before. Like before the contract, it wasn't, right? It was seriously just about getting him to produce as much as he can this year and kind of working from there. Now that you have an extension in place, I think it changes things a little bit. Still very surprising to me if we see him a healthy scratch, though. Like, I don't think that's the way to go here.
Yeah, so it kind of obviously comes as a bit of a surprise, but again, like we've said a few times with Tocchet, you kind of like the process, right? Like, in terms of, look, Kuzmenko's here for 2 more years, and we were criticizing the deal for the reason of, okay, you could have got assets with him, and if he keeps up the scoring, you're probably not going to be able to sign him long-term.
Right.
But if you develop into a complete player, right? If you develop this player into a guy who you can #win with, and you can keep him, right? Like, you can keep him long-term around this team because he's a serviceable middle 6 forward, right? Like, he could play on your top line. He could put up points there, but he's also defensively responsible enough to play anywhere in your lineup, basically, right? Like, if you can develop this guy the way that Tocchet is wanting to, that's a good thing for the Canucks long term, I think. And it's good for their prospects of signing Kuzmenko at the end of this contract. Sure. Now, what I'm curious about, Chris, is if this is another kind of example of, and this is something Travis Green got criticized for a lot, right? Like Tocchet's buddy.
Good buddies, yep.
The idea of, okay, you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Like, some guys just aren't those defensive stalwart players. Like, again, you don't, and I really like Tocchet's reasoning on it this morning of, he's talking about how he wants a certain type of player playing with Elias Pettersson. And again, that's great. And he talked about, actually, do we have the clip of that? Did you pull that up? Okay, well, anyways, he basically talked about how he doesn't want PD to have to do everything on that line. Like, he wants, obviously PD was going to play a 200-foot game, but he doesn't want him to have to be the only one. He wants someone good on the boards. He wants, somebody that's going to be able to get him the puck, that sort of stuff. Now, with that in mind, Kuzmenko has a lot of offensive talent, right? And he has meshed well with Pettersson. Now, I find it really interesting that we're hearing this stuff, and Tocchet today calls Kuzmenko a long-term project.
Yep.
I'm not trying to cry over spilled milk or bring up anything that's we've already brought up a lot of times, but it kind of goes back to this idea of, that extension. Probably not the best idea when he was riding a high shooting percentage, all that sort of stuff. Like, it's the idea of, sell high, buy low.
Yeah, it changes the whole viewpoint, because it's like what I just said. Like, Kuzmenko was a short-term project all season long.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, get him to produce in the NHL. That was the plan. Now the plan is like, okay, but now we want him here under the coach for a long time. So it's, you're halfway through the season and you're changing the plan.
Also, just to clarify, I know it's what is it? Buy low, sell high. Yeah, I know it. I was trying to screw it up in my head.
No,
for
but
the
that's
Canucks
the thing.
Perspective.
I know you've been covering the Canucks for so long. It's been buy high and sell low.
Neither of us are really on today. Eh?
Well, I got no energy drinks. I'm drinking freaking coffee. I'm on my 4th coffee.
Actually, I feel okay.
I feel pretty good too. This is actually only my 2nd coffee, but I've been having a lot of tea lately.
Yeah.
So my voice is like, it's warm. I think there's some warmth behind my voice today.
Oh, nice.
What do you think?
I think there's some warmth in there.
Yeah, it's from all the damn tea I've been drinking.
What kind of tea do you drink?
I'm a black tea guy. I like the spicy chai. They say that on the front. It said, this is the spicy tea. I said, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And then I was like, oh, I guess when they're talking spicy, they literally mean like spices, instead of like, when I hear spicy, I think hot. I think buffalo sauce.
Couple things here.
All that stuff, yep.
Cornbread jumped in the chat, said it was hard to tell from where I was sitting in the arena, but did Bear get injured over the weekend? Someone smoked the wall pretty hard after a breakaway.
Yep.
Regardless. That was Ethan Bear. He was on a breakaway. He went down, hit his back into the wall. Quinn Hughes was the one that took the penalty shot. I thought it should have been Tyler Myers. It had to be someone on the ice.
Ooh, here we go.
Myers was still on the ice. Should have been him. And what do you know? Hughes missed it.
Tell you what, I've seen they used to do this drill before. Tyler Myers always did score pretty quick in these drills. It was the last couple of people. It was Horvat. It was OEL. Those guys, they're not shootout guys. Tyler Myers, give them a go. Yep,
okay,
I'm with you.
Dick Dosky jumped in the chat.
Be careful with that one.
It's short for Richard. It's a name. Jumped in the chat and said maybe they're shopping Besser and want to get him more exposure.
Yep, bingo. But Besser's been good lately too. Under Tocchet, Besser does this all the time. How good does Besser play under these new coaches? He's always playing good hockey under them. So
also he plays well with Lewis Pettersson.
Yep, he plays good with Pettersson.
Also, something
he loves it too.
I think it was Tom that asked talking about this, and he didn't get much of an answer, but it was a good question regardless. I want to bring it up. The Pettersson line is beginning more matchups. And I mean, of course they have. Look at this lineup that we're seeing here. And folks, you know the lineup if you're listening to the podcast. They're getting more matchups. And again, when that's the case, you probably want a guy like Brock Besser there over Andrei Kuzmenko. Now, this isn't to say Brock Besser is some defensive stalwart. That's a word I've used twice today.
Yeah, word of the day.
But he is a little bit better at defense than Kuzmenko. Like, he's got the NHL experience. He's got, you know, those things that you would like to see from a winger playing with Elias Pettersson. I also think there's a bit of
what you just said. There's the point is playing with Elias Pettersson, doing the things like, because Pettersson is going to carry a lot in the defensive zone as much as he does in the offense. I always feel like, and what you just said there is bang on. It's because you know how to play as a winger for Pettersson. Like, Kuzmenko knows how to score as a winger with Pettersson. But you're right. I think Brock Besser, when he is playing with Pettersson, that's when he's at his best defensively too, because he understands that he's got that chemistry with Pettersson, not only in the offensive zone, but what you need to do in the defensive zone.
I also think there's an element of Besser saying, okay, like, not that this is my last chance. I don't want to make it sound like, you know, like that, but you understand what I mean, where it's, okay, you know what? I'm sure Besser isn't happy with the way he's played this year, and he would really like to turn that around, and he probably knows the best chance to do that is playing with Elias Pettersson. Like, this is a guy who's been bumped out of the top 6. He's been bumped off the first power play unit. I believe it twice this season at different points. He's gone back and forth. And now, you know, I'm not surprised to see him kind of running with the opportunity that he's been given. Now, again, I'm not saying Besser's been fantastic. Like, I don't know about you, but I haven't watched these games. Like, wow, Brock Besser's been fantastic. Like, I know he's getting the points. The points are there, but I haven't watched the games and said, wow, he looks like a different player than before. I legitimately think it just comes down to opportunity. Like, I don't think he's changed too much, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. But I mean,
he's playing well.
Yeah, I think he's learned a little bit and a few things. But yeah, you want to see that that attention in the defensive zone too. So you've seen that with Brock a little bit, I think, improve over the years.
And Corey brings up a good point. I should have given more props here. He said he's not a little better at defense. Brock is really good on the boards and way harder on the puck. I think Brock is much better on the boards than Kuzmenko.
But you get a little bit of that dynamic speed a little more with Kuzmenko. That's kind of, you know, there's some give and take here.
There is, exactly.
Here's the answer. Play them both with Pettersson. Put Kuzmenko on the left. That's
my idea.
Beauvillier, you get him with JT Miller. You get him somewhere else in the lineup.
I've liked the Podkolzin Garland Miller line was the Canucks' best line in the last game that they played.
I tell you, Podkolzin, he's looked great ever since his Abbotsford stint. You want to talk a little Abbotsford stuff right here? But let's talk about the goalie thing. I'm just
in shock that you want to get rid of Podkolzin. You want to send him back down, apparently.
No, don't send him back down.
He's
a good two-way player. He's learning the game. He doesn't need to be with JT Miller.
I'm trying to get your go to bit now that I've calmed down, because you had me really riled up at the start of the show.
I almost lost you there.
Okay, Abbotsford.
You got a belly full of rice over there too. Again, mouthful of it still too. Let's get to the Spencer Martin thing. Spencer Martin got put on waivers today at 11 o'clock. So he, from what we understand, and look at this, good photo there. So Martin's going down, but he's going to back up still tonight. The situation that's going to happen here now moving forward is interesting. And I tweeted this out. I got to make a correction on my tweet. I thought they were playing in Abbotsford on Tuesday and Wednesday, but they're in Calgary. They're actually in Calgary. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. You're going to know if, what's happening tomorrow. Either, Artur Silovs either needs to stay here and back up for the Vancouver Canucks on the Wednesday game, or he's going to have to travel to Calgary and go play with Calgary. You don't know what's going on here. What's the situation with Thatcher Demko is kind of interesting. We heard that it's still sounds like it's going to be a few practices away. Tocchet said today 3 or 4 more practices for Demko, because the dude just hasn't faced shots, right? He's been able to at least work and do some stuff away from practice, but guy has not faced a lot of NHL shots. You don't want to just throw him out there on one of these days where he's getting 40 shots on net. Like, you got to warm this guy up a little bit. It'll be curious to see if there's somewhere maybe for him to get a start with the Abbotsford team as well. So I do want to bring this up though. If Silovs does get called up, you're saying he needs a look. I know you want to see him be the starter for the rest of the season, but Silovs Last 5 games in the AHL, Quads, check this. A 956 save percentage. Coming off of a shutout just the other day. I was out there on Friday, saw him get the shutout. That was great. So it'll be interesting. I think Martin's going to start, and I got to correct this in the tweet. I said in Abbotsford, it's going to be in Calgary, probably on Tuesday. We'll see what happens with Wednesday. So they got a lot of stuff going on here with the AHL team. It's not like that really matters. Like, I think they're going to get Silovs up here I think he might back up on Wednesday. So we'll have to see what happens there. It's a fluid situation.
You've got 4 articles on Canucks Army today.
Yeah, I'm working hard.
Yeah, you've really been writing a lot.
I put the tie on today. I've been, went to the office. And I'm doing all that. No energy drinks too.
On Silovs, I'll just say this. So you just made it clear Demko is not going to be returning right away. He's progressing well, and he is nearing a return. Yeah. But it's still, I'd say, at least a week away at the very least. Like you said, he has skated. He's gotten some shots. Partly, like, you and I were talking about this off air. Like, if Archie Silovs comes up and backs up, he's getting an NHL paycheck, and that's a nice little reward.
10 times his salary.
Exactly.
You know that? 10 times the salary that week.
Literally, yeah. And
I'm not even making a joke. It's 10,
it's literally 70,000.
It's more than 10 times his salary.
Yes, exactly.
And you go and you take yourself out for a nice dinner. You go to Montana's. Artie's going to be posting a photo here pretty quick. That's right. Artie's going to enter the giveaway. I don't know when. I'll write an article about it because there was some quote. Like, I talked to Silovs on Friday about the situation that he's in Abbotsford, and the dude's been in 35 games this year. Okay, there's 25 games left in the AHL season. Silovs has been in 35 games this season. If you told, I could have told you that at the start of the year, you would have believed me because you think Silovs is the next coming. He's Dominic Hasek, but taller. That's what you think. And Silovs, I asked him about
another Ottawa reference with the former senator.
Okay, Alex, you're about to these Ottawa references. I know you just did an hour with the Ottawa show over there. You couldn't get him out then? Nope, we lost Alex. Unless he's got another Ottawa reference for us. Okay. Anyways, now I lost it a little bit there. I'm sorry for yelling at Alex. With Silovs, though, getting this opportunity to play this many minutes, I asked him about like kind of the rapid development that he's had to go through here. And it's been interesting because you don't think as a 21-year-old you're going to get this kind of run unless you're kind of, what the hell was that? You cannot, no. What the hell was that? You just took a huge bite of chicken and rice. What the hell is going on here today? Oh my, you don't even care. Okay, let's do something else then. If this isn't good enough for you, Quads, we can move on to something else. Jeez Louise. You can't be taking a huge bite in the middle of a podcast of your food here. And because we're on camera now. You used to pull this back in the day before you gotta be kidding me. All right. Let me get to the full Abbotsford report then. This is unreal. I can't believe this. Got a chance to see Aatu Raty play live on Friday. I thought it was his best game as an Abbotsford Canuck for sure. Jeremy Colleton also said the same thing. I hope that where's Quads' broad? Is she in the chat? She better tell you no more eating on the damn show here. She got to quit making such good meals for you and so much leftovers. Anyways, Aatu Raty. What do you know? Drinks.
Every time you say Quads broad, you need to clarify it's a reference to the broadcast and that you're not calling her a broad.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna piss some people off if
you
keep doing that.
Okay, well I appreciate that. That's her name on the YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
All the podcast listeners, which there are a lot more of.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, continue. Sorry, Aatu Raty. Go ahead.
The username Quads is broad. Talking about that. No more eating on the show. The Aatu Raty. So I talked to him on Friday. We'll get the audio up here in a second, Alex. It was good to hear from him because I think it's a spot where now that he got to see himself play kind of in the home arena of the AHL team, see how kind of close it was to Vancouver, he got an opportunity to kind of take in the area a little bit. I know Sunday he was out golfing. His girlfriend there, she's a pro golfer, like competitive golfer. I don't know if she's pro, but she's a competitive golfer. And she's unreal. Ratu's got a real nice swing on. You see that on Instagram on the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh man, he's got a real nice, smooth looking swing. Looks like mine a little bit. But so I talked to him about it. He was very excited about the opportunity to like work with the Sedins because the way that he kind of talked about it was like the Sedins don't rely on their speed. They never did. And I think Ratu's aware that he needs to work on his skating. It's something he literally told me out there in Abbotsford. But he said it's good because the people that you're learning from, they're both forwards. Daniel and Henrik were. And Ratu kind of wants to play a similar game of like being really good at that give and go thing. who the hell would you want to learn give and goes from aside from the Sedins? They're the best two you can have for it. Let's just hear from Aatu Raty because he does talk about this a little bit. Here's a little bit of a quote from Raty about the Sedins that I got from him after talking to him after Friday's game.
Oh yeah, definitely two legends that I've seen on the TV and kind of on the highlights so many times. I feel like they're both forwards. One of them played center, so I think there's a lot to learn. And like I feel like with me, because I'm not super fast or rely on kind of winning one-on-ones all the time. I feel like I can get so many tips from them from kind of playing that give and go game and then kind of just trying to outsmart the opponent rather than just being rocket fast. So it's great. They were in there for the one practice I was in, and I got to work with them for like 45 minutes, so that was great.
So when I talked to Raty on Friday, I asked him about his skating, right? I mean, it's something he's talked about, something I noticed in his game for sure. I mentioned it, that it's been something that I don't think has limited him because he's gotten into 12 NHL games this year as a 20-year-old. That's impressive, okay? Like, whatever it is, you're 20 years old, you're getting to the NHL, you're a second-round pick. Like, you aren't going to get all the opportunities like a first-round guy, but at 20, second-round pick, you're getting a lineup like that in the NHL. That's really good. But he mentioned, like, from going to the NHL, he knew that, like, because I think the question I asked him was something along the lines of, like, from the 12-game stretch that he had in the NHL, what do you have now to kind of take away as information of, like, this is what I really need to improve on? And his first answer is skating, right? It is skating. Like, there's certain things in his game that you really like. Like, I think he's a very intelligent attacker. I'm not just talking about with the puck, but the way that he, especially on Friday night when he had 6 shots on net in that game, just the way he was able to find open ice around the net and really get a good opportunity for that. That was all good stuff. But there is things about him on the back check or him going up to the neutral zone where you're like, if there was a little more pace there, we're talking about a real serious guy who could bring a lot to an NHL lineup one day. Still only 20 years old, so there's a lot of time to work on it. But, early returns from watching him and seeing him live now as well is like, yeah, he does have that potential to be like a strong 3C down the road. I think that's going to be an interesting thing to play out here for the Canucks. But Abbotsford, 5-game win streak, Quads. 5-game win streak for Abbotsford. They're absolutely rolling, heading into Calgary tomorrow for a pair of back-to-backs against the Wranglers there with Dustin Wolf, your buddy there. Dustin Wolf, you like him. He's one of your guys. He's in the Quads plan, Dustin Wolf. But 956 save percentage for Sea-Laws. I talked about that over the last 5 games. 25 games left in the season. Here's the thing. Those 5 wins that they're on, the 5-game winning streak, how many goals have they given up over those 5 games?
7.
Less than 7. They've given up 6 goals in their last 5. I tell you, Jeremy Colleton's got those guys out there. Colleton's got those guys absolutely buzzing right now. They're just playing such good hockey. It's everything's going good out there in Abbotsford. I'm wrong. I thought they were playing out there. I was excited to go out there tomorrow, so I'm not. So I got to, I'm out now. I'm actually even more excited. I get to spend Valentine's Day with my fiance instead.
We've had this conversation, I think, annually.
Yep.
Valentine's with an N.
God, here we go. I know it's Valentine's. I grew up with Valentine's.
So why not correct it? I don't get it.
Well, it's the whole cupboard thing.
Cupboard. Yes,
yeah.
That's another one.
The first time I saw somebody spell out the word cupboard, I was like, what's a cupboard? Because I grew up with cupboards. Like in my house, we had cupboards.
Cubbert.
Cubbert. Cupboards. That's where we kept all the brown sugar and baking soda and
we got to start keeping track
powder.
of these Faberisms.
I don't need a list of that.
Okay. Betway, let's go.
Betway. Oh yeah, geez, we really flew through today's episode.
Yeah, I thought we wasted so much time.
I felt like we'll circle back on the halftime show and what's going on over there. You're not happy about it.
We could waste some more time if you guys want.
Yeah, let's do it. Ottawa Senators corner with Alex.
Can I quickly get this in? Because I was just
today? I can't believe we're already 34 minutes in. This feels like we have not been doing the show for very long.
Well, I quickly want to get this in because I kind of want to talk to Raty, and of course it's gonna be you that has to do it.
Yeah.
But how underrated do you think it is that he gets to leave Bridgeport, Connecticut, and come live in the Lower Mainland? Well, the Fraser Valley.
Well, that's probably nice too. I mean, but he was just down in New York. But when he found out he got traded, he was at a spa. So like,
yeah, but he was there for the All-Star break. He was playing in Bridgeport.
Yeah, what's your problem with Bridgeport?
Connecticut?
Bridgeport, Connecticut. Yeah, you're like 20 minutes from New York. Have you ever
been to Connecticut?
Have you?
No.
Exactly. Well, I haven't been either, but I've heard good things about Connecticut.
Have you really?
Yeah, somebody told me once.
Wow. What have you? Tell me.
Oh, Alex. Yeah, here's Alex. It's 4 kilometers south of Ottawa. Alex, what do you know about Connecticut?
I I might not comment. I just think you both haven't been there. So let's hear what you guys have to say about it.
Well, here's what I know about Connecticut. It's CN is the thing they do for the state there, right? Connecticut, CN. Bridgeport, CN, Connecticut.
Attaboy.
Well, that's all. I don't know anything.
There's
I couldn't tell you.
knows.
I could find it on a map if you gave me like a good radius. Have you ever seen this online? These people that they do this game where it's like they show you a picture,
Yes,
and then they click somewhere in the world and they see where. I can't believe some of these people.
It is wild, and you know there's that guy
Here, Madeline's in there. I haven't been to Bridgeport, but I love Connecticut.
Well, see, Lisa.
CT. Now I'm wrong too. Yeah.
And Lisa also called it boring. Lisa, who's actually from the States and has likely been to Connecticut.
Okay.
I was
Alex,
who's CN? Who's CN? Like, where did you see CN?
Yeah, what the hell are you talking about?
How many N's you got in Connecticut? Couple, right? How many T's you got in Connecticut?
I'll give you 10 more if you can spell Connecticut without.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not spelling anything on the show here. I don't have what's it called? My little my thing that corrects my words.
Grammarly.
Yeah, I don't have
that
Grammarly on my the way I talk. I don't have Grammarly there. Alex, give us a Connecticut fact or something that you know.
Madeline really likes it.
Yeah,
okay,
Madeline.
Well, C is the number one letter. There's 3 C's. There's 2 T's.
Yeah, you know less than us about Connecticut, Alex.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get to Betway. Let's get out of here. Game tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be back every day, obviously. We'll be breaking down
5
that
days
game.
a week this week.
I'll ask you this because we have a little bit of time. What's the number one thing you're watching tonight in that game between the Detroit Red Wings and the Vancouver Canucks?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep watching for. I want to see how Pettersson's playing good hockey late. See what happens with the goaltending situation. We didn't really discuss it that much, but it's kind of interesting to me that Colin Delias came in and won this spot over Spencer Martin. It's a pretty an outcome I didn't really see happening this season. Was that this guy who I thought was just going to be kind of splitting time with Sealaws in the A. He's going to be the one that the Canucks had to make a decision here about the goaltending, and they seem to have selected Colin Delia moving forward.
Yeah, and the thing about that is just Spencer Martin struggled so much, like 10 straight losses, and it's almost the reverse of the conversation of last year where, hey, you didn't have the best numbers per se or blah, 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 like you didn't look great, whatever you have to say about Martin, but he got points every time he was in, and it's kind of the reverse of that argument where it's how much better has Colin Delia looked? I would say slightly. I don't think there's this major difference, but the Canucks haven't got results with Spencer Martin in net. Lost his last 10 starts. In those starts, he had one game, his last start, where he had a 900 save percentage. Nothing above that over those 10 starts. All below 900 and all those. And that's tough. You're gonna eventually you're gonna feel that. And again, Spencer Martin, one of the nicest people we've ever dealt with in the sport. One of the just genuinely great people. Sucks to see him go down, but might get claimed. Maybe we're talking about a Spencer Martin claim tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe it's funny that the situation where he's going to back up tonight. Still, it's the same as Lane Peterson.
Well, if it was the same as Lane Peterson, they would start him and then he would get a shutout.
Fair enough.
Okay, fair enough. Betway, let's go.
Here's a Connecticut fact for you. I know this.
Okay.
Whereas Connecticut's the home of the ESPN offices, right? I might be wrong. I think I'm right with that.
I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, Connecticut ESPN is in Connecticut.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank
Bristol.
you. Bristol. See, it sounds beautiful in Bristol. They probably got Italian beaches and what's the thing hanging off there?
Beaches in Connecticut.
Yeah, they probably got a beach or two there.
I've heard they got a nice river and they got a lot of trees.
Yeah.
I hear it's really nice.
Thank you. You haven't made the trip down yet, Alex, because you're out there in the east.
I've gone through it, flown over a bunch.
Flown over a whole
You
bunch.
guys are describing Merritt, British Columbia.
No, don't bring Merritt into this. Connecticut. I don't know what's
hate on Merritt. It's just the place everybody drives through.
Well, Connecticut's a good little spot out there.
Okay,
let's
go.
Good folks, probably. They're on an eastern time.
The trees are better in BC than in Connecticut. I can give that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'd go with that one too.
Okay, Betway, let's go.
We'll see though, but I bet they got good lobster over there. Connecticut? Are they in the water?
No, they are not. They're not.
They're Midwest.
No.
Where is Connecticut? What is Connecticut?
10 minutes ago, I could put it on a map.
Yeah, I could find it on a map.
Well, it's not near water. I can tell you that. Okay, let's go.
Corey Anderson, Merritt is a giant hole. And Merritt lost their country music festival. That's what they're famous for.
That sucks.
The River Rockin' Sock and Merritt.
We've got listeners in Merritt, and there's good people.
I know. We do good on the Merritt. Our Merritt people. I know. They are good people. I've stopped in Merritt multiple times for McDonald's before.
Great.
It's a spot. It's between Kelowna and coming here to Vancouver. It's a good little area to kind of stop. You get that last little push. You know, you stretch your legs a little bit. Nice little place.
Wait, people are telling us it is on the coast now.
That's what I'm saying. I know where Connecticut is. It's right underneath New York. I'm pretty sure. It's on the coast. Thank you. Everybody's right here. Oh, yeah, Kitimat's now. Now there's some BC cities not having the best time here in the chat. All right, let's get to Betway. Then you can tell me a Connecticut thing at the end here.
It is on the coast.
I said that. I've heard about.
Well, it's not really on the coast.
People have told. I've talked to some
it's
people
like
about
just below Massachusetts.
Here we go.
In between Boston and New York. That's why it gets forgotten, is because it's in between those two states.
That's what I said. It's look at all the well, I hear about maybe the beaches aren't great in Connecticut. I've heard about that whole little Long Island beach there.
Yeah, I
hear it's a little bit.
I'm looking
I don't
at
think you're going for a swim and a vacation.
Do you remember the episode of Seinfeld when Kramer goes for a swim in the East River?
No, but I've never seen Seinfeld. But Bridgeport, beautiful little spot there. And yeah, it's right by New York. So, all right.
Okay, let's go.
Never really looked at the east part. Like, I've never looked at this map actually that close. I didn't know that that's how New York.
Genuinely, I thought Connecticut was where Pennsylvania is on a map of the U.S. Like, if I had to draw out a map of the U.S.
You know what? New York's got the Long Island vibe. I don't think it's as big. I think it's a lot smaller. I know it's a lot smaller. I am stupid sometimes, but
no, you're not.
It kind of gives me a little Vancouver Island vibe here.
Have you ever seen? We're getting so off track. We were like, this is gonna be we're done at 30 minutes. Have you ever seen the map of Seattle put on its side?
Okay.
Like if you rotate it, it literally just looks like the Lower Mainland.
Well, yeah, because
you ever seen that?
Well, they're just down the road. What do you expect?
Yeah, okay. I think you missed the point.
I've always said this about Seattle. Oh, you know what? I don't want to get the Americans mad at me, actually.
Mama Lisa's down there.
I know. I'm just saying it's like the Pokemon thing we do. It's like I feel like Vancouver is like the final evolved stage of Seattle. Like Seattle, it's nice. I just don't think it's not the Charmander. It's more like the Charmeleon. And then like Vancouver, it just you get a little bit better view at the mountains and everything. But
this is so funny. The people in the chat are like, "What are you guys talking about?" New Haven is also where Yale University is.
See, they got some smart people there too.
They do have some smart people there.
Yeah.
Clearly not us. And you know what? I'm going to wear this one for a while because I know geography pretty well and I'm really good with direction. You know all this, but I'm appalled that I didn't get that right. Like I think I could name each capital city in the States. Like I think I could get all that.
Do that.
I think so.
There's no chance you can name them all.
Give me one. While you prep your little
capital.
I could name the capital.
Okay, what's the capital of North Dakota?
North Dakota, Madison. No, that's Madison, Wisconsin. North Dakota's.
Alex, you're gonna have to fact check this for me. I can't.
I don't know off the top of my head, actually.
The first one I ask, you can't even get.
All right,
they got a spot in Bridgeport here in Connecticut that I'm on Google. This little spot here, it's
Bismarck
in Fairfield. It's called Super Duper Weenie. It's a little hot dog shack here in Connecticut. I looked up Connecticut restaurants. Second one that comes up, Super Duper Weenie.
Okay.
Look at the good looking hot dogs.
Okay. We're actually running out of time now, so get to Betway. Let's go.
Yeah, we're done here. Betway. Let's get to it. I do have a fun one today.
In Columbus, it's got really good hot dogs called Dirty Franks. If you're ever in Columbus, Dirty Franks.
Okay, now let's do another 10 minutes on Ohio.
Let's go. Betway.
Okay. This show's been a mess. Betway. My bets of the day here today. We got Anthony Beauvillier or Brock Besser to score a goal in today's game. Either or, we like the bets here on Betway. -138 on our odds there. A $10 bet's going to return you $17.27. And Quads, hear me out on this one. A Gordie Howe hat trick tonight in the Canucks and Detroit game. Because it can be any player on either one. I think these teams, they just played and they had to play that early game on Saturday. They're pissed off about that. They're pissed they got to fly here and just play each other again. It's a weird thing in the schedule. I think there's going to be a couple of pissed off guys here. And if they drop the gloves and you end up getting a goal and assist, plus 3,000 on a Gordie Howe hat trick. I think it's possible. What, Canucks, are they still leading the league in fights?
I have no idea.
Maybe. All right.
I like your bet, though.
But it might be does JT Miller need to get fired up? If he drops the gloves tonight, that's the guy. That's my guy for the Gordie Howe tonight. So
I like it.
We'll see what happens.
19 plus. If you choose to play, please play responsibly over at Betway. We'll wrap it up there. Game time tonight, folks. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about it.
Unless Alex has it. I know Alex what he does over there. Any more fun facts, Alex? I know Alex is always looking up fun facts with the things we talk about. If you have one more. let me know, Alex, because Alex will stay late. I know you want to get out of here.
I gotta run.
Anything, Alex, before we close out?
No, I got nothing.
All right, just making sure.
All right.
No more hot dog stands.
I'm gonna have to mute you both at this point.
That's Super Duper Weenie. They got that's the spot right there.
All right,
out in
we're
Connecticut.
muting them now.
Well, in fairness, I've never tried Super Duper Weenie. I've only tried 30
What are
Franks.
we on today? What is happening
Well,
here?
I just saw that you muted my mic, and you do have the power to mute Alex.
I do. I can mute you
That's what I
both,
say,
and I'm going
You
to.
got too much power over there with that board in front of you. I don't like it.
I'm gonna have to do it.
All right.
Okay.
Good
in
Monday
all
show.
seriousness, great Monday show.
No
We'll
energy
wrap
drinks
it
all
up
week.
there. For my co-host Chris Faber and our technical producer Alex Allard, my name is David Quadrelli. Thank you so much. Let's take you to another episode of the Canucks Conversation.
Just a Corey Bantic episode through and through.
Thanks for listening to Canucks Conversation. Hit the subscribe button to never miss an episode.